Hello, my name is Victor, and today we'll show you how quickly you can create an API using CentralMind Gateway tool. First of all, what is it, Gateway tool? It's an open source project that we created quite recently, and it's helping to create API on top of your structured databases, so reducing the time to spend on development of such API, and also it's out of box going optimized for AI chatbots, AI agents, AI applications, providing additional meta information and examples how to use that. We also support a lot of different protocols to work and integrate with our tools like MCP or REST. Okay, let's try to quickly see how you can easily generate and launch such API. First of all, you need to go to GitHub page and copy paste the URL to repository. Let's try to clone that to my machine. Okay, let's go to a folder that was created. Now let's build a binary from the sources. Make sure that you have a Golang tools installed on your machine. Okay, that's all. Let's add execution permissions to that newly created binary. Okay, that's all. The next step is to create a configuration or connection to your database. Here you can see an example of publicly available database hosted on Superberries. So you can use that one, by the way, so it's a read-only database, or you can use your own database. Okay, we created a file. Now let's start the discovery process using Gateway tool. So just need to launch a Gateway, discover, and provide configuration file that was created on the previous step. Set the type of a database and provide OpenAI key. Also, you can add additional requirements via prompt and specify, for example, what kind of API endpoints you want, or anything that you want to add. Let's start the process. So, okay, what's happening here? First of all, it's automatically discovered these tables. On a next step, it did some sampling, so to understand the nature of the data. And now it's thinking and designing your API based on a schema of your tables and data examples. Let's wait a little bit. So it usually takes about from 1 to 5 minutes, depending on the complexity and number of tables that you want to use in your API. Okay, the process is finished. Let's see what's happened here. First of all, it's showing some statistics, how much time it took, how much tokens was used, how much it was cost, only 17 cents, by the way, instead of days of work, how many API methods created, how many columns with PI data was detected. Okay, that was nice. Now let's investigate what the output of that process was generated. Let's check that. So here's a file that was created during that process. So it's a configuration for your future API. So with a listing of all API endpoints, SQL queries, parameters, and other stuff that you can verify, check, or adjust if you want. And also you can specify additional plugins like authentication or PII data reduction. Now let's try to start the server from that configuration that was generated on the previous step. To do that, you just need to run the same gateway command with start REST server and provide a parameter config to newly create a file gateway YAML. The server is starting, and now you should see some information. Yes, it started locally, and you can check that how it will work. For example, for you to go and test the Swagger documentation, we automatically generate open IP specifications, Swagger documentation, and other stuff. Let's try to execute something like, I don't know, that method. Yep, it's a list of the themes that's available, and the data is successfully pulled from a database. Now let's go to a more interesting part. So, for example, you want to integrate your API with Cloud Desktop or Cursor or another tool that supports MCP. To do that, you just need to change one command here. Instead of REST, set MCP and start it. Now your MCP server is available on that endpoint. Let's go to Cursor. It's already installed on my machine, and to add a new tools, you just need to go to Settings, MCP, add new MCP server, test, choose SSE, and provide that URL. Yep, it's working. So it automatically detected the tools that's available in that API, and let's check is it able to work with that or not. Give me 5 examples of movies available via tool. Yep, it's asking permission to use a tool. I give it that, and yep, you see it's successfully get information through the API. Why you need an API layer? So right now lots of people are using direct SQL access to your database in the Cursor, and it's a nice ability during development when you need to create something on top of your database or create and adjust tables, for example, or queries. But in production, it's really hard to publish database to internet and open ports to be available. Therefore, people are usually create API layer to increase security and performance and hide database somewhere in internal network. That's exactly what we want to automate, to create these production-ready APIs on your database and avoid security and performance issues. Also, using direct access to database, it's not a stable solution, because each time your user will ask chatbot to do something, it will generate a new SQL query, and sometimes it could be broken or doesn't use indexes, and the performance could really hit hard on your database. So usually it's easier and more stable to create these kind of queries and API endpoints in advance, verify them, and host this API to the internet or internally to your network. And that's all. Thank you for your time.